Good evening, folks. Welcome back to the program. This is Chris in Central Pennsylvania, and this is a pro tip for South African refugees in the United States who are struggling to get issued Social Security numbers. Now, this pro tip, I can't guarantee it'll work. What I can tell you is that it makes sense, and we have some information that is potentially going to solve this problem. If it does, great. If it doesn't, no promise is made here. But a number of South African refugees have been struggling to get Social Security numbers, and we're not sure why. Some people, it's gone on for weeks or months. I referred a case to the Office of Refugee Resettlement to intervene just the other day for someone who's been waiting 4 months. You can't expect refugees to be successful when their grant aid only lasts for a couple months and you're not giving them Social Security numbers because they can't be employed. So here's the deal. Spoke with a refugee in Las Vegas, whom I know, and this person had a family member struggling with a Social Security number for months, and they couldn't figure out what was going on. So the director of the agency managed to get an appointment with the local Social Security Administration regional director. They went to the office. They looked at the system, and the I-94, which was submitted when they arrived, said awaiting approval, which would make sense. If it's either in the passport or a piece of paper you're given when you arrive, you're awaiting approval, final approval in the country. So what the director says, well, let me check something here. Went into the computer, which the Social Security Administration can do, and pulled up the I-94, a current copy with a current date on it. And it says approved. So the Social Security Administration had the information, but it appears someone didn't follow up. Now, I'm not attacking Social Security Administration, but it appears that something has happened, either a change in the way things are processed or simply happenstance. Now, let's fade back to what I told my viewers about Social Security numbers just about a week ago. The Social Security Administration for refugees, you can apply for a Social Security number the day you arrive in America. However, the Social Security Administration advises against that. They caution that you should wait 10 working days, or as many refugee agencies are telling recently arrived refugees, 2 weeks, because weekends, 14 days. So 10 working days. And the reason for that is when you arrive, you are pending approval, and then USCIS processes you in the system, and within those 10 working days, it should update the system. But if in fact you've gone to the Social Security office and you've got an appointment and you've done it before they have that approval, or you give them a copy of the I-94 that you arrived with, that says pending approval. If the people who process your paperwork don't follow up or go any further, you're never going to get a Social Security number. Now, I don't know that this is the case, but based on that anecdotal information, plus information I've received from other cases around the country, it would seem plausible that what's happening here is that the initial paperwork is correct, that you're not approved, that you're pending approval, but you get approval within a number of days, up to 10 working days. 2 weeks, but someone didn't follow up. Now, I don't know that to be the case in each of these individual cases, but it makes sense. So here's a pro tip for refugees arriving in the United States. If you're not getting a Social Security card within 6 days after applying for it, going to them, contact them, go back, and ask them to pull up your I-94, which they can do on the computer, and see if it says approved. Or you can have your refugee agency pull it up and compare it to the one you had. If it says approved and the previous one didn't, well, there's your problem. Well, and the fact that somebody didn't follow up with the Social Security Administration. Does that help? Now, I don't know this is a foolproof solution, but what I'm suggesting is that you try it for those struggling to get their Social Security number sorted. There's no reason the Social Security Administration can't get you a Social Security number within 6 days. I mean, a computer assigns this thing. It's not rocket science. It's not like they have to go out and chisel it out of stone and hand it to you. It doesn't work that way. Even though they've gone through a drawdown last year themselves, they're not that short of personnel. So there you have it, folks, based on a conversation with the refugee from South Africa in Las Vegas, and my own analysis based on anecdotal information from here and data from there, and my own analysis, I believe that to be the case. So let's see. Give it a shot. If you can't get a Social Security number, you've been waiting weeks or months, well, get your current I-94 printout and make sure it says approved and take it back to Social Security Administration, or ask them to pull it up on their computer. All right, best of luck, folks. No one should be waiting a long time for Social Security cards. It's a detriment to success for any refugee from any country. You can't work legally without it, and you're not a person. You need a Social Security number, and you shouldn't be a victim of bureaucracy. I hope this helps. God bless.